Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for joining me this week. So this week I'm going to be talking about the different ways that we can collect evidence of student learning. So if you're interested in this topic, then please keep on watching. Okay, so this week I'm going to be talking about different ways that we can collect evidence of student learning. And this, I think, can be summarized as either diagnostic assessment, assessment for or as aware learning, which is formative assessment, or it can be assessment of learning, which is a summative type of assessment. But when we actually collect evidence for different assessment purposes, there's different types of data that we can collect. So I'm just going to move myself out of the way here. So here I have the difference between quantitative and qualitative data that we can collect for evidencing student learning. So quantitative data, I think, is the type of data that we're accustomed to collecting. It's numerical data, it involves closed questions, those traditional quizzes and tests, and it really takes a snapshot in time of your students' learning. So rather than a photo album and a whole portfolio of their progress and their journey, it's a snapshot in time. And normally this is reported as a letter grade, number grade, and then we might do some statistical analysis on this data, looking at mean, median, modes, and standard deviation, or looking at grade boundaries. Now, the other type of data that we can collect as evidence of student learning is qualitative data. And I think this is the data that we sometimes forget about. And in qualitative data, it can be sometimes graded, but a lot of the time we use rubrics and thematic coding to look for trends in this type of qualitative data. So qualitative data involves narratives, free-form responses, asking your students for their ideas, opinions, explanations, maybe their answers and responses to conceptual questions or factual questions if you actually want to know what their factual knowledge is. And qualitative data, I think, is more complex to actually sort and categorize, but it gives us a bigger overall picture of a student's learning journey and process. Now, I'm going to give you some more examples of how we collect qualitative data. So you can see that I've got some other examples of collecting qualitative evidence of learning. We can use visible thinking routines from Harvard's Project Zero, like I used to think, now I think, or Connect, Extend, Challenge, what ideas connected to what you already knew, what ideas extended or pushed your thinking, and what ideas are still challenging you. So Connect, Extend, Challenge is one of my favorite ways to collect qualitative evidence of learning. We can use any type of metacognitive or self-reflection prompts so that you are teaching your learners to be more self-aware about their learning process and journey. I mentioned before using guiding questions, which actually include the factual, conceptual, debatable, or provocative questions to collect evidence of student learning. We can use graphic organizers, so asking our students to either create a Venn diagram of the similarities and differences between two concepts, or different types of organizers such as the Freya model, which looks at the definition, characteristics, examples and non-examples of a particular important idea. We can use criterion-based rubrics, so descriptors that will allow students to see what success looks like, or even asking our students to co-create different descriptions of what success would look like for any particular task. And another way that I love is the e-portfolio, which is like a photo album of a student's learning journey and really gives us the full picture of a student's achievement and also their successes, strengths, and talents. So there were just some ideas of how to collect qualitative evidence of student learning. If you have any suggestions of how you collect qualitative data to evidence student learning, then please put it in the comment section below. Thank you so much for joining me again this week, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.